There's been an arrest in the shooting at Grambling State University. It left two folks dead. One of them a student. Grambling State University President Rick Gallot confirms that Jaylin Wayne has been arrested on a charge of first-degree murder. Wayne is a freshman from St. Louis accused of fatally shooting Monquiarious, Caldwell, and Earl Andrews during an altercation at a dormitory Tuesday night. Now, Andrews was a 23-year-old senior at Grambling. Now, Caldwell was not a student, both of them from a nearby town in Grambling. University officials thanked law enforcement for their swift investigation and said their thoughts and prayers continue to be with Caldwell and Andrews' family. Now, hopefully, in the next hour, we'll talk with the president of Grambling. But let me just go ahead and say this before we go the rest of the show. There's 3 black men dead, 2 of them students at Grambling. How shameful that a freshman who's going to college. We already know the numbers of black men. Now he's facing murder charges. We have to deal with this reality in terms of what is happening with black men when it comes to disagreements with one another. And so here you have 3 black men who are dead, all of them under the age of 25 on a college campus. That is a damn shame. I got the president of Grambling State University on the phone. We told you that there was an arrest there of someone in the shooting of 2 students. Mr. President, you there?
I am. Thank you so much, Roland, for having me on this morning.
Give us the update. So it has to be sad to you to hear that one of your own students, a freshman, has been arrested, a freshman from St. Louis, Jaylin Wayne, in the shooting death of 2 other people on your campus, including a senior.
Absolutely, it is, and you know our thoughts, prayers, and everything goes out to not only the Andrews and Cleveland family, but the Wayne family as well. I mean, we're glad that our Lincoln Parish Sheriff's Department was able to make an arrest within the first 48 hours, which of course is, significant, and we're very thankful of that. But yeah, I mean, it's not, it's a tough situation where you've got, these 3 young men whose lives, have ended as they knew it. 2 being deceased and 1 who, his life is over as he knows it.
Is your campus a state university? Is this an open carry campus?
It is not. No. Grambling State University, as all other Louisiana schools, are gun-free zones. It's prohibited by state law. It's prohibited by our student code of conduct. Now, having said that, people break laws every day, and that's an unfortunate situation. But no, we are not an open carry campus.
Obviously, I've seen reports of some students say they're concerned about their safety. Are you looking to make any changes? Are you looking to, what are you looking to do in the wake of this fatal shooting?
Sure. So the first piece of that is because it is homecoming, we were already scheduled to have additional law enforcement presence. So we've had an additional 40 officers on campus just because it is homecoming. Governor John Bell Edwards, who's a good friend and a former colleague from the legislature, called Wednesday morning, said, "What can I do to help?" They've sent state troopers who are going to be there, or started Wednesday night, and will be with us through the weekend. So in the short term, I think everyone will certainly recognize the additional police presence. But what's also important, and we can't lose sight of the fact that this was an isolated event that occurred between individuals who knew one another. So, that's a very different situation than, say, an active shooter who's out indiscriminately or randomly committing acts of violence. So, this really calls more into question, Roland, and I know you've done a tremendous amount of work in this area, is that how can we get our young people to employ better conflict resolution tactics versus just, fighting or pulling weapons. I mean, that's, to the core of some of the additional work that we will absolutely be committed to doing here at Grambling State University, and that is trying to equip our students with the social skill required to de-escalate versus escalating what, is typically something very minor that goes from 0 to 100 in a split second.
And when you talk about that, what's the percentage of men and women on your campus?
We're probably about 60-40, 65-35. I'm sorry, I don't have the exact, but it's more females than males. But I will say that we have seen an increase this semester in the number of male students. We essentially ran out of on-campus housing for our male students. So certainly we're encouraged that we have more males, coming to college than before.
But it is, I guess what just kills me is the fact that just we spend so much time talking about the state of black men and having more black women in college. And it has to be beyond sad for parents to send 2 black men to college. And one is dead. And he's in Louisiana, if convicted, will likely spend the rest of his life in prison because he had an argument on a college campus.
Right. That's right. And what is also such a huge contrast, Roland, is that we were there in Washington, D.C. For the Thurgood Marshall College Fund Leadership Institute, and we had over a dozen of our students, many of them male, who were there interviewing with some of the top Fortune 500 companies, many of whom received job offers while we were there in the nation's capital earlier this week. And, we all returned back, on Tuesday, and this happens, Tuesday night. So, again, I can't stress enough the fact that, we do have high achieving students who are a part of the Grambling State University student body who are doing really well. But this is just so that there's such a contrast that exists there. Because one of the questions that came up is, what do you say to students who say, well, I want to transfer because this incident happened? And I said to them, you should talk to those students who just returned from Washington, D.C. with Thurgood Marshall College Fund Leadership Institute, and they will tell you that the quality and the value of Grambling State University education is very valuable, and that when they go into an interview room with Fortune 500 companies, they recognize the quality and value of that degree that they are earning at Grambling State University.
Mr. President, now you got other duties. Anything I can do when it comes to what you're trying to do with those brothers down there, let me know.
Well, you've always been here for us, and we appreciate you so much, Roland. We just ask you and all your viewers to keep us in your prayers, and we will put God first, and we will lean on Him, and we know He'll see us through.
I appreciate it, sir. Thanks a lot.
God bless you.
I cannot imagine a mama and a daddy and family members saying, I got you through 18 years in St. Louis, and I sent you to college, and you now about to face murder charges.
Yeah, I think it shows that as much as education for black folks is a key factor in us moving forward, that our issues don't stop there. That sometimes we need to hold our students a little bit closer and to mentor them a little bit more. Because as someone who went to school coming from a low-income background, I still dealt with that. I still dealt with a friend being killed in my hometown. Like, those issues don't magically go away because you picked a major, and I think we're seeing that here.
All right, Keep Fighting Laws Committee, we appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Weekdays on TV One.
I will never lie to you.
Oh my God.
Roland Martin.
He doesn't want to talk to us. He wants to ignore us.
Uncensored.
Hell no. That ain't gonna cut it, boo.
Unapologetic.
No, that is fundamentally false. You are wrong.
Unfiltered.
He wants an America where we all look alike. He ain't talking about black people.
Unrelenting.
You better go work out, because you got a fight on your hands.
NewsOne Now with Roland Martin. Weekdays at 7 a.m. on TV One.